Why, it's Franz Kafka. Hello, Franz. I don't think he looked anything like that. Much skinnier face, and I don't think he had such a handsome beard. Not me, Franz Kafka. You know Kafka? He wrote some weird stories. His most famous, he wrote one called The Trial, where a man is accused of a crime, but he never learns what the crime is or why he's been arrested. It's very Kafka-esque. That's the adjective we use to describe weird things that happen to you that you have no control over and you don't really understand. And his most famous story is the one that I'm talking about today, Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means a complete physical change, like a butterfly, starts off as a caterpillar, and there's a metamorphosis where it turns into a butterfly. But he does a reverse process. He imagines, I think he was writing in the when was he writing? 1920s or earlier, 1900s? Was it after the First World War? I think after the First World War. Anyway, it was a modern period of, I think it's Czechoslovakia. I think he was in Prague. I don't know the details, but anyway, I have read the book, amazingly. It was good, a little bit depressing, but the story is all about a man who turns into a kind of beetle or insect, possibly a cockroach. He turns into a giant beetle one day. He wakes up as a beetle. That's the situation. And from that, you know, he spends his time worrying about being unable to work to feed his parents. I don't think he has a wife. I think it's parents and his responsibilities. Of course, he can't work if he's a big beetle. It's kind of absurd, or another word we use is surreal. It's not real, but there's one element that's not real, turning into a beetle, but then everything else is real. People talking to him, and his parents bring him, I think, an apple or something. His sister feels sorry for him, but everybody else ignores him. It's a tough one. It's about the alienation. Alienation is feeling disconnected uh, from his family, from modern life, from many things. So it's kind of a popular book to read. It's a cult fiction to read, especially when you're feeling a bit alienated yourself in your teens and 20s, maybe. Anyway, I recommend having a read of it. It's not a long book, it's a novella, a short novel, 100 pages or so. It's like a long short story. But it's pretty good. I recommend it. It's considered a classic, something that everybody perhaps should read. Okay, what can I say? Number one, let's make some questions. Number one, would you like to read Metamorphosis? Why or why not? Maybe I didn't do a good job of selling it, but it's a classic. It's short. It's quite deep, but it's a bit weird. Number two, have you read or watched any surreal stories? Metamorphosis is the most famous surreal story. Do you know of any others or any weird movies? Um, hmm, we can have a think. Number three, what is the attraction to reading unusual, weird stories like this? Why do people want to read such a weird thing? And I'll give you a warning. I don't think there's a happy ending. There's no happy ending in this story. Why do people want to read unusual stories like this? Have a think, and I'll see you again. Okay. Thanks, AI Kafka. What a strange metamorphosis. If you find a picture of Kafka, there's a black and white, very gaunt, thin-looking guy. He doesn't look nearly as handsome as this chap. Well done, AI. Okay, thank you. See you again.